Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to show you how to make an SVG animation using HTML and CSS. So let's get started. So when you open up Figma, the first thing you want to do is click on frame and then go over to the desktop and use the rectangle tool to create a rectangle. And you can choose any fill color that you like, doesn't really matter. And then go use the text tool to type any text that you want for your animation. And then you can change the font size and font color as you like. Place the text in the center. Right click and click on outline stroke, and right click again and copy as SVG. Okay, so now let's open up our HTML and paste the SVG code which we just copied. You'll see a bunch of different paths. Each of us represent individual characters of the text. So now what we want to do is go to the end of each of the paths tag and replace the fill property with stroke is equals to white and stroke width is equal to 5. So now as we can see, our text is not placed centrally. So let's go ahead and add in some CSS in order to do so. So I'm going to give my SVG tag an ID of text and give it a position of absolute and change the top and left to be 50%. Okay, so now our text is placed centrally. Let's go ahead and add some JavaScript. So the reason why we need JavaScript is because we need to get the total length of each of the individual characters. So the JavaScript is fairly simple. So what we're going to do is use a for loop to iterate over each of the individual characters and get their total length using the getTotalLength function. Okay, so now let's open up our browser and head over to the console. So if we wrote our JavaScript without any errors, we should be able to see all of the lengths of all of the individual characters, and let's go ahead and copy that and paste that into our CSS file. In order to make our animation, we're going to be using two things called stroke-array and stroke-offset. So what stroke-array does is that it creates empty gaps within our stroke, and what stroke-offset does is that it allows us to shift the position of the empty gaps within our stroke. And now you want to set the stroke-array and stroke-offset to be equal to the value of the total length of each of the characters. Open up the browser and reload. We just created an empty gap within our stroke which is equal to the total length of each of the characters, which is why we're not able to see anything. So now let's go ahead and add in our animation. So I'm going to call it anim, and I'm going to change the stroke-offset to be equal to 0. So what this is going to do is that it's going to shift the empty gap within our stroke and change it to a full character. So it's going to appear as if the text is writing itself, which is exactly what we want. So for each character, I'm going to give it an animation of anim for 2 seconds, ease forwards, and an offset of 3 milliseconds, so that the animation for each character happens 3 milliseconds after the previous ones. So that's it for the animation. Now the last thing we want is, we don't want our text to be just remain as a stroke. We want our text to be fill. So for that, we're going to use another animation. I'm going to call it fill, and from fill is equal to transparent, we're going to change it to white. So go up to the text SVG tag, which we gave an ID of text, give it an animation of fill for 0.5 seconds, ease forwards, and give it an offset of 2.3 seconds. So now as you can see, that's it for our animation. Thank you for watching this.